Good. Yeah, that connection with NeiGuan is definitely one that's interesting to feel. First, we kind of have to feel it through. Let's play with that a bit before we jump. Maybe we'll just focus on that one movement for today because there's a lot of things to play with. So let's gather the chi between the palms. Just feeling the ball, which is basically the same idea as this. We're just in a slightly different position. And then as we shift, bringing the connection towards P6 and feeling how you can grasp it. And so I believe I've talked about this before, the how to open and close by just rotating. So if my palm is facing down, my bones are crossing each other. The attached from the upper part goes above, the other one goes under. Whereas if my palm is up, then my bones are parallel in the forearm. The parallel side is when we really open up NeiGuan. The crossing is where WeiGuan starts to be more activated. It's also why the pericardium has that little shift zigzag before in order to adjust while we have this rotation. So when we open it, when we put the bones parallel, we really expand that notion. That goes with the inhale of the primary respiratory movement when the whole body, when we talk about how the arch of the foots are opening up, the pelvis, the spine, the shoulder blades are falling, this is where this opens up on a global rotation because the humerus bring the arms up, but then each bone are rotating outward, so from the center line out for both of them. But this placing the bone parallels would allow this opening to happen. So we have this global movement from the center of the body towards the outside that happens when the bones of the forearms are parallel. So as we gather the chi here, when we first, because our position is here, as we compress, we grab, and then we allow this expansion through the forearm to open up. So we're really grabbing the chi and kind of feel how you can pull on it and how this gentle pull of bringing the inside of the forearm out creates that same sensation through the center of the body. So the WeiMai really play or create the connection between the ChongMai and DaiMai, between the depth and the surface. By reaching out through the WeiMai and expanding it, we allow this feeling from the Taiji pole to expand outward as a big bubble expanding. So as we play one side or the other, we want to first feel that strong connection between LaoGong and NeiGuan, and feel how we can expand and how this expansion make the whole arm, the chi from the center of the arm start to expand itself, how it reach through the center of the body, how you can feel the whole weight chi just expanding all over as we gently pull on it and just allowing it to open more. Basically, you're learning how to do medical qigong specifically on NeiGuan and how to open the ChongMai, the WeiMai, open up from there we go, and everything else just always better to learn to do medical qigong on oneself. So it makes more sense, and then you can understand how it works on somebody else after. P6 is a really big point. There's a lot of things going on associated to it. It's also the Luo point for the pericardium channel. So within the realm of medical qigong, there is in order to really stimulate the area that you want between the pericardium channel, or really going deeper to get the WeiMai, there's a certain layer of awareness to be. So I would say it sound to me like you stayed a bit more on the pericardium area because of that opening of the chest, the opening of it, and that was probably the Yin that started to flow, which opened up through the leg that you felt. So my guess is that you were not quite into the WeiMai yet, at least not through the opening of the NeiGuan, but that you had at least a really good result through the main channel, the Yin and its effect through the heart and everything. So very good. Keep going. The other layer will open up with it afterwards. Yeah, yeah. It's just a question of depths of feeling what quality of the point we want to activate with. And there were quite a few research done on P6, and one of them demonstrated how it particularly affect the heart rate variability center of the brain. So that was very interesting on how it all its effect to help release tension, emotional tension in the heart, and all these effects are very much present in it. And then in order to go feel the WeiMai, you really want to feel that you get not just the point, but also that the point is your doorway through the center of the arm and then through the center of the body, and how that just a little deeper. Let's do that together. It will be good for everyone to also play more on the surface of it. So choose one side, align LaoGong with P6. And I would say don't go in, just feel the surface. Feel the sinew channel. Feel how that area where the point is, there's that gathering of the energy a little stronger. There's that hole, and you can notice that there's a depth to it. If you go a little out, follow through, you can feel the divot, and then it changes, and there's another one later closer to the wrist, but you really want to get that P6 area. And once you feel it, just go below the skin, just a little bit. Almost between the tendon, but not quite. You're kind of just above the tendon in that layer. And this is the layer where you'll get kind of the main channel a little bit. And notice how this has that strong effect in the center of the chest. You really get that chest connection. You may feel also through the legs, the Yin channel. Has a very calming effect, relaxing effect, but it's not as energizing as when we'll get into the next layer. Now from here, feeling that, I want you to allow the qi to go deeper in between the bones. See if you can feel that all of a sudden there's like a second layer to it that goes deep in between the bones. And notice how you can feel it also through the chest, but it's almost as if it's opening a tunnel at the center of the chest, going down into the abdomen, reaching up to the head, and then down to the feet. And if you bring your awareness into your legs, where you could feel the channel earlier, you'll notice that you feel more the center of the leg rather than a bit more on the surface with the channel. And from here, imagine that you're grabbing the point and you're, just like you would expand an image on a tablet, stretching your finger, you're opening the point to make it bigger, and notice how everything inside just starts to, oof, there you go, Janet. That was good. Yeah. Oof. So just to be a little deeper to really get that, ooh, okay, that doesn't feel channels anymore. We're into the Mai. We're into the extraordinary, not the regular. And at the same time, as this expansion happen inside, you can feel that bubble around you that just go whoop. The weight shear around is thicker, more present. And good. All right. Excellent. Yeah. So that's the difference of the depth. And as an acupuncturist, even if you're mostly using needle and not so much chi emission, this is how you really want the state you want to be in when you trigger. Not so much that the needle has to go deep, but that the quality of how you go in and the effect, the energetic effect that the needle has, trigger this opening. It was interesting to me because the notion of using coupled points for opening the Mai, I only learned very late. It wasn't part of the school when I studied. When we were working quite a bit with the extraordinary channel, but we were just grabbing its point, opening it to get to get this kind of response. And so when I heard people say, "Oh, you have to couple it with the other ones," like, no, you don't. You just open. So it was a bit of a strange idea for me, and I don't really know where it's from, but it's interesting. You don't really need to couple to get that kind of sensation. You just allow it to expand. And that's the same principle for any one of the points. 5 minutes. Let's play a little bit with our feet since we've been doing that for a while. So bringing your awareness towards spleen 4, just on the inside of the arch of the foot so that we get the ChongMai to open. Just feeling on the foot, again, spleen 4 is also a luo point, so it activates the flow of qi through the spleen Tai Yin channel. And so we can allow it to open, which gives us an opening of the foot, which helps the rising through the yin channel inside of the legs and into the body. But again, if we focus more on the surface, this is the channel we're talking about and not the extraordinary yet. So if we go back there, and as we inhale, we go deeper inside, feel how the whole foot is kind of going, and feel how that pushes kind of a deep underground water going up through your legs and filling up your torso. Has that very deep, nourishing Jing quality to it that fills up the whole body. It has a very deep and nourishing, but it doesn't have the expansiveness. That's why they combine together. Because we need the expansiveness, of the WeiMai. So we need the expansiveness of the WeiMai to get that depth to reach the surface. And so as we're standing here, if we combine them both, we connect first through the feet, allow the Chong to fill up. And then as it fills up the body and starts to overflow through the arm, bringing the awareness to P6, and notice how that gives it a shininess. It's almost as if we're going from thick water into vaporizing it into a mist that fills up the body and allow the strength of the depth to reach the surface. Then we can get the return by focusing on the Yang Wei, pulling back in, and then connecting with GallBladder 41 for the DaiMai and getting everything to surrounds the body, bring it back in, and keep that mistiness and allowing it to become more dense. As we gently breathe, we have this rising and expansion, and then gathering and sinking. until we reach a point of balance where there's nothing. Uh, So this is one of the way where we can connect with the extras and activate them, and especially in the case of clinical treatment, how we can use them to trigger the reaction in our patients and get the result that we want from them. We just need to stimulate them the right way to get that expansiveness and that quality that regulates hormonal cycles and greater cycle of the body rather than the day-to-day work that the channels are dealing with. Yeah, the layer of the Chong also works a lot for bone marrow, joints, so it helps to align that deeper layer as well. Yeah, the whole there's a structural aspect when the foot is properly placed, also it helps. So in order for the Chong to open, we need the foot to be also at the right place if we're standing. If you're working on a patient, they're lying down, will be easier to adjust the foot. But when we're standing, we need to have that right support for everything to start to realign, so it will have an impact on the knee as well. Thanks for watching. Leave your question or comments in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to learn more about Taiji Qigong Shibashi, visit my website, qigong18.com, for more information on online classes and private classes, just like the one you just watched. Have a good day.